State University gave a 2-year contract extension to head football coach Mickey Joseph. The legendary HBCU program was 7-5 last season, the team's best finish since 2017. Joseph is 12-12 in his first 2 seasons at Grambling. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with the world. African Focus Incorporated is a community-based organization whose mission is to bring Africans and African Americans together, lead charitable initiatives on the motherland, and educate people from all walks of life on the beauty, legacy, and opportunity of Africa's 54 nations. And it's that time once again when African Focus is teaming up with KBLA Talk 1580 for our 8th annual African Focus Trailblazers Tour. Travel with us in 2026 when we're headed to the southern African nations of Zambia and Botswana for a historical, cultural, and vacation tour led by me, Dominique DePrima, Cultural Ambassador for African Focus Incorporated. Enjoy luxurious accommodations, conscious fellow travelers, shopping, adventures, cultural tours, wildlife safaris, and a giant waterfall, one of the world's 7 wonders, along with a chance to be of service at an orphanage on the continent. Become an AFI trailblazer by exploring the motherland with a nonprofit organization that has members in Africa and America to help roll out the red carpet for you, and together we'll make a difference and have fun doing it. For more information, visit africanfocus.org or call 310-676-7300. That's 310-676-7300 or africanfocus.org. Whether it's stateside or exploring the diaspora, we're with you every step of the way. African Focus and KBLA Talk 1580. Come go with us.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, and I have some news. The room is full. Our founding members cohort on the art of conversation has begun, and I could not be more energized by the professionals who said yes to mastering the craft. Their dedication to curating great conversations reminds me why I do this work. Now, if you wanted to join us and did not make it in time, I want you to hear this. The next cohort is coming. I do not have the firm dates yet, but I do have a waiting list. And everyone on that list will receive early access and special discounts when enrollment opens. After almost 40 years of interviewing world leaders and cultural icons, I am teaching everything I know. Don't miss your chance to be in the next room. Go to TavishTalks.com and get on the waiting list right now. That's TavishTalks.com. The conversation continues. Will you be part of it?
Yeah, man.
Money, 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 or is it Mooney, 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 Mooney? Happy Friday. Yeah. Hey, Miles, did you get the information from Khalif? We were supposed to get that from him, so once he had his phone charged, so he can let y'all know where to find him. I'm excited because we don't get to talk to these folks every day, and they're always about their money. They are comics. They have made great contributions in the entertainment industry. They are perhaps most fondly remembered for their starring roles as young Kenny Ray and Benny Ray in the sports fantasy comedy film The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. They are community legends, trailblazers of conscious comedy, and they are also lecturers on wealth and prosperity. Thus, the money intro. The Mooney Twins, Daryl and Dwayne. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
It's
Wow.
it's even harder to tell you guys apart on the phone. I can't see y'all.
Yeah, next time we got to come in studio.
I know, but don't you guys stay in Florida now or something, or Orange County?
No,
or something?
I was staying, Dwayne Mooney, I was staying in Houston for a couple of years with one of my women, and but I'm back in Los Angeles now.
What, the one of didn't slip by.
Yeah.
That's another conversation that we sometimes have with these two. Their full marital relationship philosophies, practices, whatever y'all want to call that.
Just multiple loves.
Multiple loves, area codes.
Yeah, I'm Daryl. Daryl is in Bakersfield with his family.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, I'm with my family, wife and children.
Daryl's the one with multiple children.
Yeah, Dwayne has multiple women. Daryl has multiple children.
Okay, I'm glad I got that straight.
We switch every other month.
No, y'all don't. No, Daryl's trying to keep his family together, and you over here wrecking havoc. What is happening right now? What is going on? There's got to be some astrological transit. Over here boxing with Lucky Leafy on some, what are we even talking about? Reparations, twisting and turning. And now we're trying to talk about money, polyamory, marriage, and comedy all in one sentence.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Big ups to our father, Paul Mooney. He's so needed now.
Oh, my God. I think about that so much.
Yeah.
My probably second or third episode of my first radio show in L.A., Street Science, my guest was Paul Mooney. And, you guys know we were friends. And I miss him so much right now because I just wonder what would he be saying about all. I mean, he would be having so much fun with all the crazy that's going on right now in Washington.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He would be having a ball. First, he was, what's her name? What's that young lady's name? That singer?
Nikki.
What's
Nikki,
her name?
That MAGA Naga.
It's funny because you've always had your dad's laugh, but the imitation is spot on. Or I guess it's an impression. That's what y'all call it. What y'all comedians call it. Impression, not an imitation.
DNA impression. A little bit different.
Yeah. Right, because it's like me doing my facial expression impression of my dad, which I can't help. I stole his whole face. Right. And you guys got the face, the voice, and the impression. So KBLA yesterday afternoon all day actually, did our Black History Month luncheon. We were honoring legends of comedy. And it was really it was a great event. I thought about your dad, Paul Mooney, a lot. It was the first time we've done that, and as many of the comedians mentioned from the stage, the first time that we really don't see a lot of awards and celebration of comedy and the role that you all play in illuminating political issues, making us laugh when we feel like crying, helping us get through hard times. Everything else has awards, costume designers, makeup artists, politicians and actors and musicians, but you don't see as much the comics. So I thought about Paul. He certainly would have been someone that could have and should have been recognized for that. And of course you guys as well. So thank you for all that you do.
They literally look at comedians as a joke.
You're so stupid. Of course, we honored Earthquake, Melanie Camacho, Martin Lawrence, D.L. Hughley, Lunell, and Dion Cole. And all of them actually were there, except for Lunell, who was hospitalized. She has been sick for the last few days. So it was a powerful gathering. It was nice to give folks their flowers while they're here.
Isn't it so funny isn't it wonderful? Isn't it great that Lunell is dating Al B. Shore? That's so wonderful.
Okay, all right. I'm always happy for my girl, Lunell. She's happy, I'm happy. Yeah. She likes it, I love it. I've been knowing her for a long time because both of us are from the Bay.
Yes.
Wow. And we're looking at the new, I would say, in line with our father kind of comedy is Godfrey. Godfrey is killing it right now. He's really online doing some very conscious thing. He loves our father, Paul Mooney, and he's just, fabulous. His new comedy on screen is fantastic. It was at the Pan-African Film Festival, and he's doing great. And I'm loving to see his achievement levels right now.
Godfrey, I think that what he probably takes from your dad, Paul Mooney, is that he's very fearless. You know, he says all kinds of stuff that other people would be afraid to say. And he's also very politically educated.
Yeah, he's very smart. We like Godfrey. Well, my father, but like Paul would say, but he doesn't have those Paul Mooney looks.
Well,
that's what Paul would say.
Few of us do.
he said he looks very good, but I'm pretty. There's a difference.
Actually, Godfrey is kind of handsome. I mean, he's kind of
handsome.
He's kind of very handsome. But
talk to him, D. Tell him what you like. Tell him what you like.
Well, I mean, I think Godfrey's very handsome. I think Paul Mooney has that sort of classic, timeless.
As he would say, the face.
Yeah, the face.
And he would say, because when Paul was coming up, they would always say, a white lady came up to him and said, "You look like Paul Newman." He said, "No, Paul Newman looks like me."
I never heard that. I never heard him say that, but Paul Newman kind of does look like Paul Mooney.
Yeah.
Paul Mooney, the ancestor. Yeah. Are you still touring? I mean, I know last time we spoke, you guys were still touring and doing a combination of comedy and finances.
Yes, because it ain't no joke when you're broke. No, we were doing tours, our financial tours, our prosperity tours.
Right.
And what we were doing was mixing our comedy with lecture styles of talking about investing, entrepreneurship, and self-improvement. And they went well. We'll be doing it again soon.
Yeah. We learned how to do that, Dominique, by hanging with Dick Gregory. Because you have to understand, when we were doing conscious comedy came out of, the whole idea came out of when we were doing the holistic whole life expos and the conscious expos, and we saw the consciousness, we saw the comedy. We said, well, let's do conscious comedy. But then we were doing the comedy, and we were seeing our father and all the Robert Williams and all the great ones at the Comedy Store. And then our father was doing lectures in the comedy room, but he was being funny. And then we met Dick Gregory, and we saw Dick Gregory do a lecture as opposed to comedy. And we said, wow, we want to do that too. And that's when we really changed our frame and started going in the community and doing lectures and doing seminars and doing things like that. But that was really, really motivated off that Dick Gregory energy.
That's so interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, two humongous footprints in our culture, Dick Gregory and Paul Mooney. And I saw Dick Gregory do lectures. Of course, he did my show many, many times. But I also saw him in a room, a more classic comedy room with mostly white audience. And they were rolling. So you want to talk about range. This guy could go up on Sunset Boulevard and do comedy for a strictly old school white comedy audience, or he could be at the Good Life doing a lecture and making us laugh along the way.
Yeah. And what was interesting about Dick Gregory doing that, that's when we first saw him. He was doing a fast. He was protesting something in Washington, right? And he was out there in Washington. He was all on the news, but he had a show at the Comedy Store. And it was interesting because he was in the main room. It was a small white crowd, and he was juice fasting. And he was actually on stage, so he was skinny. He was real skinny, sitting down, doing stand-up, and he was looking at his notes while he was telling jokes.
No alcohol being served.
Yeah, it was juice only served.
That's why it was only 25 people.
Yeah, right. But they were just giving him all his attention. And that was the first time I seen a black man on stage where white folks were so attentive, right?
Yeah.
And then Daryl and I talked to him, and we became friends. And he told us, he said, I want you guys to come fly out to the Whole Life Expo, which was a holistic expo in San Francisco, and see my lecture. And so, okay, we went out to go see him in San Francisco, and it was thousands of people, white people, black people, people of color. Everybody was there, and he was real low key when he was doing stand up in the comedy club. But in the lecture, he was like preaching, lecturing, storytelling, getting on your butt, being funny. I said, this is amazing. And people were standing up every 10 minutes, hoovering and hollering. It was interesting to see the change of face, and it was a wonderful experience. And that's when Daryl and I got hooked.
The Mooney Twins are with me. I guess we're finishing out the week strong here with more comedy, conversation, consciousness, and maybe some cash. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
This Friday night, KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to gather with us as we honor a legend. Join us at 7 p.m. at the historic First AME Church, for a celebration of life for the Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr., civil rights leader and tireless champion for justice. For decades, Reverend Jackson stood on the front lines of change, fighting for voting rights, economic opportunity, and equality for all. Now, the community comes together to reflect, to remember, and to celebrate a life that helped shape a nation. Music, prayer, powerful tributes. That's this Friday, February 27th at First AME Church in Los Angeles, 2270 South Harvard Boulevard. KBLA Talk 1580 thanks our partners for this celebration of life service in honor of Reverend Jackson, the Empowerment Congress, SCLCLA, the LA County Federation of Labor, AFL-CIO, United Faith Community, of course, First AME Church, and St. John's Community Health. For details and coverage, stay with KBLA Talk 1580.
I am black, beautiful.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thank you indeed, and thanks to everyone who came out to our Black History Month luncheon yesterday. It was amazing. Tonight we will be honoring the life and legacy of the Reverend Jesse Jackson. We're going to be at First AME Church starting at 7 p.m., 7 to 9. That is going to be live, and there's a bunch of speakers, including Tavis Smiley, Dr. Cornel West, and others paying tribute to Jesse Jackson, who, of course, passed away this week. And he's an icon. We're talking now with the Mooney Twins. All are welcome. You just come to First AME Church. You don't have to register or anything, and join us there. There'll be music, conversation, and fellowship. I wonder if you have any thoughts about Reverend Jackson as we say goodbye to him, in 4 different states at least. Yeah.
Yes, I was able to work Daryl here. I worked both his presidential campaigns, so I was able to experience him closely in the LA offices, and he had that it factor. He was an amazing guy. His lectures at that time was so phenomenal. He was on top of his game. To see a black man on top of his game the way he was, running through the Democratic Party and running for president, it was an amazing experience for me. And his son, Jesse Jackson Jr., it was just, oh my God, it was an amazing experience, and Jesse was just the man.
And of course, his son will be, he has a show on this radio station. He'll be there tonight to tribute his dad. Yeah.
I remember Daryl telling me that he used to work with Jesse Jackson Jr. And Jesse Jackson Jr. would just be all over the place working at the campaign. And Daryl would always say to me, Jesse Jackson Jr. has a lot of ego, always talking just like his father.
Yeah.
And he said to Jesse Jackson, he said, "You got a lot of ego, man." And
No, that's not. No, we were in the room, man. We were in the room, and I was like, he heard me. I was all, that's a guy that got so much ego, because he just came out of college and was graduating. It was all about Jesse Jackson Jr., all the women, everybody was giving him all the attention, and I was a little jealous. I said, God, this guy has a lot of ego. And he heard me say, ego is the fuel for ambition.
Well, he became a congressman. He's running again.
He became a congressman.
He's running again, and he's, and he's got a radio show on KBLA every single day after Tavis Smiley goes off the air at noon, and he's very wildly popular.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
And people don't. Jesse Jackson Jr. is amazing.
And people don't understand how powerful a speaker Jesse Jackson was, because Daryl and I used to open for Jesse.
Oh, really?
Right? On some of his campaigns. They would put us on right before Jesse. So we would be backstage with Jesse. And, when Jesse would come in town, they would always try to get him to, talk about certain things. And I would watch him and, how he would handle backstage. And they would say, he would say, just brief me. And he gave me, I don't need a whole paperwork on what to lecture on. Just brief me. Tell me what you want me to talk about. And he would weave in whatever was happening in the community, whatever you wanted him to say, he would weave in that with his message. He was a brilliant speaker, and that I am somebody, that he would say, I am beautiful, those affirmations he would do. See, people don't understand. People like Malcolm, people like Jesse, people like Dick Gregory were great motivators. And the words they would use, like, I am somebody. Dick Gregory would use, you make a difference. Things of that nature all come from the great Reverend Ike. This is what they learned from him, that affirmation, that power of the word, how to say something to take you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually to the next level. That's what made that I am somebody, and repeating it where we're going to your subconscious mind and get you to think better of yourself and to raise your self-esteem. He was a beautiful master speaker, and to get you to think great about yourself.
Interesting. I mean, you talk about Reverend Ike, but these are also the call and response and all that. Those are traditions that go back to the griots, right? They go back to the drums of Africa. They're kind of staples of the black church. In any case, he, being an orator, to some extent, we only have a minute here before news, traffic, and sports, but to some extent, that either you have it or you don't, right? I mean, to be a great speaker like that.
Yep. And now they're doing workshops and seminars and charging people $1,000 an hour just to learn how to call in response.
Really?
I mean, it's amazing what's going on.
I need that gig. I know how to do that. Somebody scream.
I don't know if you remember, Dominique, the great Les Brown, right?
Yes.
And you talk about AME Church. I remember at AME Church, Les Brown came in and did a seminar. It was about 20 people there. And Les Brown said, it's not many people here because the church still doesn't believe in what I'm teaching, and the visualization and affirmation and acting as if. They still don't believe that because they think this is anti-religious. But he said, you will see I'm ahead of my time, and you will see one day they will embrace this like it's normal. And it happened.
Yeah.
It literally happened, where what he was talking about, people finally caught up, and now that's what everybody's doing. They're doing it in the church. They're doing it outside of the church. Motivation and empowerment, self-development is the thing. But black people got all of that in the black church.
Dwayne and Daryl Mooney are my guests. We're up against a hard stop here, news, traffic, and sports, and we'll keep it pushing after that. Keep the conversation going on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Crowds in Chicago are paying their respects to the late Reverend Jesse Jackson. Thousands gathered at Rainbow Push as Reverend Al Sharpton, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, and other dignitaries honored the civil rights icon.
We spent a lifetime together. I've seen him stand up against adversity. I've seen him break history.
Services continue today before moving to South Carolina and Washington, D.C. next week. Crystal Mangum, the white woman who falsely accused Black Duke lacrosse players nearly 20 years ago, is set to be released from a North Carolina prison today. She's finished a more than 10-year sentence for the 2013 murder of her boyfriend. Charges in the Duke case were dropped after she admitted she lied. And the California Supreme Court has rejected Tory Lanez's bid to overturn his conviction for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in 2020. Justices said evidence supports the verdict. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man.
It was another rough night for both of LA's NBA teams. The Lakers and Clippers have now lost 3 straight. Somebody named Royce O'Neal hit a three-pointer with 0.9 seconds left in the game to give Phoenix a 113-110 win over the Lakers. O'Neal's game winner ruined a 41-point performance by Luka Doncic. The Clippers had to play Minnesota last night without 2 starters. Kawhi Leonard and John Collins were on the bench with an injury. Minnesota held on for a 94-88 win at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. The Clippers had a horrible night shooting from three-point range. They made only 5 of 22. Grambling State University gave a 2-year contract extension to head football coach Mickey Joseph. The legendary HBCU program was 7-5 last season, the team's best finish since 2017. Joseph is 12-12 in his first 2 seasons at Grambling. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with the world. African Focus Incorporated is a community-based organization whose mission is to bring Africans and African Americans together, lead charitable initiatives on the motherland, and educate people from all walks of life on the beauty, legacy, and opportunity of Africa's 54 nations. And it's that time once again when African Focus is teaming up with KBLA Talk 1580 for our 8th annual African Focus Trailblazers Tour. Travel with us in 2026 when we're headed to the southern African nations of Zambia and Botswana for a historical, cultural, and vacation tour led by me, Dominique DePrima, Cultural Ambassador for African Focus Incorporated. Enjoy luxurious accommodations, conscious fellow travelers, shopping, adventures, cultural tours, wildlife safaris, and a giant waterfall, one of the world's 7 wonders, along with a chance to be of service at an orphanage on the continent. Become an AFI trailblazer by exploring the motherland with a nonprofit organization that has members in Africa and America to help roll out the red carpet for you, and together we'll make a difference and have fun doing it. For more information, visit africanfocus.org or call 310-676-7300. That's 310-676-7300 or africanfocus.org. Whether it's stateside or exploring the diaspora, we're with you every step of the way. African Focus and KBLA Talk 1580. Come go with us.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth.
Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome. We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
And we do not. Mooney Twins are my guests. I wanted to say, in response to some questioning in the YouTube chat room, we are streaming the homegoing celebration for Jesse Jackson Sr. tonight. It will be on the radio only. It will be audio only. So all you have to do is turn on KBLA 1580 or go to our app, and you will hear everything that is going on. And we have a great lineup of speakers, as I mentioned. So it's going to be an opportunity to hang out, to share. There's going to be music as well offered. Of course, it's free. Of course, you don't have to register. Just come to the church. Mayor Karen Bass is speaking. Labor leader and civil rights activist Dolores Huerta, Jesse Jackson Jr., Rabbi Stephen Jacobs, Reverend Timothy Tyler, the California Secretary of State Shirley Weber, Dr. Cornel West, and the LA County Fed leader Yvonne Wheeler, among others. Talking now with the Mooney Twins. I didn't know you guys opened for Jesse Jackson. That is wild. What a lineup that was. And, you know, did you guys, I don't know if we've talked about this before. I don't remember it. Did you guys feel pressure? You know, you're the sons of Paul Mooney, who is legendary. Of every comic, I mean, of course, every comic paid tribute to him and was not brave enough to do what he did. And then coming up under Dick Gregory and Jesse Jackson and all these monumental civil rights and entertainment geniuses. Did you guys feel pressure to be perfect?
That's an interesting question. I want to really add the great Tony Brown to that, too, because Tony Brown really, really embraced us. And at the time when we were doing the conscious comedy, there were very few people doing it. There were very few people even trying to do that because we were crossing over directly into the community because of Dick Gregory and our father. And because of that, the friendships and the people we were able to connect with, it became really, really important. Like we connect with people like Cicely Tyson, actresses and actors, people who were conscious, especially being around Dick Gregory, and we would befriend all these different people. And I remember Jesse Jackson, we did a play, Chip Fields, Kim Fields' mother, Fight the Good Fight. We did a big play, and it was a play just specifically in L.A. for Jesse Jackson and his staff. It was about 12 people, Jesse and his staff, and we were doing the play for them. And when we got off stage, Jesse he did the same thing that Dr. J did in the Fish to Save Pittsburgh. After the Fish to Save Pittsburgh, when we got in and played great in the arena, Dr. J came up and hugged us both, grabbed us both and hugged us both. And Jesse Jackson did the same thing after the play. He came down, he hugged us both, and he said, "You N-words are crazy." That was Jesse. I was like, oh, my God.
Wow.
We was a fan ever since then. It was amazing. But, no, we didn't feel the pressure. It was it was natural for us at the time, and we felt good about it, and it empowered us, and it kept us in community. And that's how we really, really got into wealth when we saw all of that going on. And when Dick Gregory was doing the Bahamian diet, everybody looked at Dick Gregory's civil rights activism and his consciousness and his health piece, which we all love. But what we really got motivated and empowered by when Dick Gregory was running his company, the Bahamian diet with Connection, and we saw him having black people around the country making thousands and thousands of dollars selling his product, the Bahamian diet. And from network marketing, we got into investing. To investing, we got into cryptocurrency. And now we're doing online investing, cryptocurrency, Forex investing. We're trading. We're networking. We've got a group of people. We've started our company, the Wealth Portal, which is about self-development and multiple streams of income. And we're a club, and we're just having a ball teaching people about wealth and wealth building through the money and the digital currency that's happening today, right now, that we must take advantage of, the Prima.
Man, so many things you just said there that need to be unboxed. Tony Brown, I've heard of him. Never knew him. Yeah. He's still with us, but never knew him when he was active as a journalist. But it's interesting because he was a Republican and a conservative, and back then you could have those kinds of friendships. I don't know if it would be so easy today, right?
Right. Yeah. Right. But remember, Tony. Remember, he went he was Democratic at first, right?
A Democrat,
and then he
yeah.
went over. Then he went over to Republican,
right?
And he spoke at that convention and all of that, and then he went back to independent. Yep.
Right. Well, you know what? Yeah. Okay. I mean, I always give the side eye to people who go from Republican to independent because it really just means you're a Republican and you don't want to say it. Most of the time. But yeah, I mean, it's the fact that you guys who are known for conscious comedy and are very outspoken, cite him as an influence. To me, it harkens back to an earlier day when we actually didn't have so much, vituperative kind of interactions between, people hating on the polarization, I guess is what I'm saying.
Correct.
The other thing you talk about crypto, two things about that. Obviously, most people that listen to this pod know that I was with the Steve Harvey Morning Show for almost 4 years as one of Harvey's angels. And one thing, I have got comedy karma. I'm always working with comedians. It's such a blessing. But one of the things Steve used to say is, if they can't do it for themselves, don't trust them to do it for you. So I assume that you guys are wildly wealthy.
Wildly, not quite wildly, but we were millionaires a year ago, literally. We were doing $25,000-$30,000 a piece a week. We were banking, and then a lot of things happened within the crypto industry that knocked that down. Then we had to retrieve and come back, and now we're on the comeback, raising up, making money again. And we're not quite where we were, but we are coming back up real strong. And we've just created and unleashed the Mooney coin.
Not the Mooney coin. Not the Mooney coin. Not the Mooney coin. Melania has a coin and Paul Mooney has a coin. I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot.
And the Paul Mooney coin is backed by the Wealth Portal and also Paul Mooney and what he's done to Trailblazers of Comedy. And we got a great poster of Paul Mooney that a young artist out of what city is he in, Daryl? The artist?
Yeah, Baltimore. Mm-hmm.
Baltimore. He drew a great picture of Paul Mooney.
Oh, I would love to see that.
That's on the cover of the coin.
Oh,
right?
Well, I won't be buying a coin, but I'd love to see the drawing.
No, we know you won't.
You never know. I mean, if it was for Paul, if you guys needed me, I'd have your back. But here's the thing. How do you feel about the pimping of the Trump coins? The Melania coin and Donald has his. And the average consumer lost bigly, as he would say, on that transaction.
The Trump coin, he did he did a rug pull on his Trump coin, meaning when he came into the presidency the second time, he unleashed the Trump coin with mentorship from the owners of Coinbase, and he created that Trump coin, and him and his cronies, and he told all his people about the Trump coin first, and they all bought in, and then when the public came in and got it, they all made multi-millions of dollars, him and his cronies, off the Trump coin. Then he rug pulled it. That means pulled all the money out of it, let it go, and people just left their holding. But you can do it right, and you can do it long term when you control the coin. The only person that can rug pull the Mooney coin is the Mooney Twins, because we created it. We monitor it. We make sure we keep it going. We've only been around for a month now. We went from $7 when it opened, and we went all the way up to $45. Right now, we're at $20 a coin, but our whole idea is to get that up to $1,000 a coin, and it's made for the little person, because you can invest as low as $5, as much as $50,000 plus, and we control and monitor the activity, so therefore it cannot be rug pulled, and we can do this in a long-term basis, and what we're looking for are for business people who want to go through the long haul. Of course, you will have traders, and we've already had that, people who trade on it made thousands of dollars. They've already did that, but they think they're being slick, but they're buying it at let's say they buy it at $15 and it goes up to $30. They made money. They put in $1,000. They make $500 profit. They pull out $1,500, but now they got to come back in, and they got to come back in at $25. So we're looking at the long-term people who want to see the price go up, and they hold and they hang and allow the price to go up, and that's how you make money in the long term with your own coin. It's something that Trump did not do. He just made that quick money and rug pull.
Yeah, I'm glad you explained that, because that really makes it crystal clear why his cronies, and it was just a handful of people.
A handful.
A handful of
and
people.
And he bragged about it.
Okay, but
and he bragged about it,
which means most people didn't.
Now look at this, Dominique. Now this is heavy. Everybody listen to this. Dwayne, what's the name of his American? What is that? When you do on the crypto, what is it when you doing it? What you're digging for it? What is it called?
Mining.
Yeah, mining. The American Mining Company. Remember last year when they came out and said Barron was the youngest millionaire created in America, right? Through crypto. It was through him
Barron
being a
is his
10%.
son.
Right.
Barron is his son. It was for him being a 10% owner. Now listen real closely. 10% owner of the American Mining Company. That's when you mine cryptocurrency, when you create cryptocurrency. Remember, we're talking about technology and energy. We're not talking about real coins. We're talking about technology and energy.
They're mining Bitcoin. They're mining Bitcoin.
They're mining Bitcoin, right?
And what Daryl was talking about, the company is a Bitcoin mining company that Barron fronts, but the family,
the whole family
owns. The
including
family
Trump
became,
and all his family.
They made billions and still making money off that coin.
American Mining Company. And they just talked about Barron is what I'm saying, that they just talked about him, but they didn't talk, the whole family owns the company. He just owns 10%, but they didn't talk about the family. They talked about Barron. But Trump, the wife, everybody, all the other children, all of them own that company, and they're still making multiple millions and billions of dollars through the American Mining Company that exists
American
right now.
Bitcoin Corporation, is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Yes.
And apparently just took a huge loss yesterday, $59 million for the fourth quarter.
Good.
It said it wiped out about 90% of the firm's market value since its September high. And
wow.
Is that the rich people's version of like getting a credit card in your kid's name?
Yes. Yes. And you see, I don't know if you saw right now, Sophie Bank, that is at the, I think that's the Sophie where the Clippers play, the Sophie building.
Oh, SoFi, yeah. Uh-huh.
Sophie. Now, they just unleashed SoFi. They just unleashed last week, listen to this, where you can buy in your bank account, you can move crypto, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, right in your bank account. You can move crypto.
Is that a good thing?
That's a great thing. It just shows you that slowly and surely cryptocurrency is coming into the American fold on a digital level.
I see it here. SoFi
That's
becomes
incredible.
first national bank to offer crypto trading.
Yep.
The first and only national chartered bank to launch crypto trading for consumers. That is wild. That's the writing on the wall right there. There was an opinion piece in the New York Times saying that Trump is the crypto president, the Bitcoin president. So why is it struggling so much? Why is this sector having such a hard time under a president who once said it was a Ponzi scheme, but now appears to be all in?
Good question.
Well, it's two things. It's not really struggling for people who know how to work cryptocurrency. People are struggling who are jumping in and they are expecting them to make millions, overnight.
Right.
People think that in crypto you only make money when it's going up. The smart people, the investors, the traders understand you can make money in crypto all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
And let's mention a couple. You're talking about yield farming, where you're getting paid on people buying and selling crypto. We're talking about different ways that we're talking about bots, mining. The bots are wonderful. The crypto bots are wonderful. They make money if it's going up or going down. So when you understand the different levels of crypto, you can always make money. And this is where Daryl and I are at. We teach people not just, I'm going to buy and hold. I'm going to hold on to Bitcoin. I'm going to buy it at a certain price, and then if it goes down, I'm going to do dollar cost average. Daryl and I, if Bitcoin is going down, Daryl and I get in sell positions and make money when it's going down. Do you know I have an XRP bot that makes money when I'm asleep? I have a Bitcoin bot we have a Bitcoin bot that makes money when we're asleep. I'm worried about if Bitcoin goes down to zero, Daryl and I will be super, super rich. If it goes up to $1 million, we'll be super, super rich. But right now, think about this. What Daryl and I do is build our crypto Forex portfolio, but at the same time, we're cash flowing. So it becomes an ecosystem for us where it becomes our own bank where we're able to pull money out daily, weekly, and monthly. When people understand the concept, instead of, cryptocurrency is bad. No, the way you look at it can be bad. And again, if you're a novice, if you're just trying to hold crypto, you're going to be in a mental wreck.
Hold that thought. We'll continue the final moments with the Mooney Twins. Time flies on the radio on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominic DePrima when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is dedicated to inspiring youth and resilience through storytelling, arts, filmmaking, and enrichment programs for youth and families in under-resourced communities and system-impacted individuals. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit providing free and low-cost arts programs to youth and families from under-resourced communities, both system-impacted youth and those affected by the incarceration of a loved one. 1 in 43 children in America have a parent incarcerated. 70% of those children are expected to end up in prison. Through filmmaking, animation, theater, and writing, they help young people express themselves, build confidence, and imagine new possibilities. Beyond the arts, they offer financial literacy workshops, emergency support, and scholarships. Because thriving takes more than talent, it takes access. To learn more about the impact of Michael Daughters Foundation and how you can be a part of the movement, please visit their website, michaelsdaughterfoundation.com. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage career track jobs. The LA Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. And they are advocating for a fair deal for black workers in the new Los Angeles City Charter. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing, or learn about union apprenticeship programs and trade registration, registries, please visit lablackworkercenter.org. That's lablackworkercenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis and build a more equitable Los Angeles. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DePrima on First Things First.
Man, we need another hour or two, but we only have a couple minutes. I don't know if you wanted to finish what you were saying about the crypto tank. During, News, Traffic, and Sports, Miles and I were talking. He follows the markets more than I do, and he was mentioning the impact of the, Epstein possibly being the mastermind or the master funder behind crypto, Bitcoin, making it tank as well. Do you want to address that? Do you want to finish what you were saying?
It could tank, emotional tanking because of that, but I don't believe that he was a part of that. It seems like they're putting everything on Epstein. He's behind the shot, the COVID. He's behind the cryptocurrency. He's behind everything. I'm like, oh Lord have mercy. That man must have been triplets.
More on that later. So you might have to come back and do a show on that. But we just have about a minute here. So, so go ahead and land.
Let's see some information. But what we were saying, people need to be educated about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is not only the future; it is the now. You have people making money around the world, everyday average people with cryptocurrency. It's amazing. And we educate and teach that with the Wealth Portal. You can contact us. Our phone number, 323-450-5340, 323-450-5340. And you can email us at Mooney Coin, MOONEY, coin, COIN, 22 at gmail.com. mooneycoin22@gmail.com. Contact us, talk to us, let us educate you, let us empower you, and let us help you make some money.
We always want folks to make money. Daryl and Dwayne Mooney, thank you so much for stopping by on this Friday and adding a little light to our weekend.
Thank you. What time is tonight? Does tonight's Jesse Jackson show start?
Yeah, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. First AME Church. All are welcome, and you don't have to register. It's absolutely free. Hope to see you there. Thank you so much again. The best of Tavis Smiley is on next, and he has had a stellar week, so you're going to want to stick around for that. Hit me up on socials. I'm at DePrima Radio, DIPRIMA, and then radio. Hit me up. Let's keep the conversation going over the weekend. I'm out and about and everywhere this weekend. Like my mama used to say, history is now. Like I always say, we are making it together. Until next time, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Crowds in Chicago are paying their respects to the late Reverend Jesse Jackson. Thousands gathered at Rainbow Push as Reverend Al Sharpton, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, and other dignitaries honored the civil rights icon.
We spent a lifetime together. I've seen him stand up against adversity. I've seen him break history.
Services continue today before moving to South Carolina and Washington, D.C. next week.